So once you've created a new publication, and you generally understand the components of the Backstage view, it's important to become more comfortable with the rest of the Publisher application's interface. So let's start from the top of the screen and work our way down to better understand the components of the interface. So first, I always like to start in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, which is where you'll see the Quick Access toolbar, which is present in other Microsoft Office products, so it might be something that's already familiar to you. The Quick Access toolbar contains icons for frequently performed commands within the application. And by frequently performed commands, that means commands that you frequently perform. It's customizable. But by default, the Save, Undo, Redo, and Print Preview icons are available. If you'd like to add additional icons to this toolbar in order to save you time in the future, you can click the down arrow that's right next to the Print Preview button. So you'll see a drop-down list of some other popular commands will be displayed, and there will be checkboxes next to the ones that are up here already. If you wanted to remove any of those, you'd simply select them from this list. It would remove the check mark, and it would also remove it from the Quick Access toolbar. So if you're looking for a command that is not displayed on this list, you can select the More Commands option, and it opens up the Publisher Options dialog box. So within this area, you can search through the commands listed on the left-hand side. Now, by default, Publisher will display a long list of popular commands. However, if you still aren't able to find the command or commands that you're looking for, you can select all commands from the Choose Commands From drop-down menu. From this alphabetical list, find the command that you'd like to add. So in this example, I'm going to add the group icon to the list. Now, all of these commands are in alphabetical order, so I'm just going to scroll down until I get to the G's. Once I find the group icon, I'll go ahead and select it, and then click the Add button in the middle. This moves the commands icon to the list on the right-hand side. We can reorder these commands by selecting the command, and then using the up and down arrows that are located on the right-hand side of the dialog box. You can reposition these commands to be wherever you'd like them to be. It's just all a matter of your personal preference. Then you would continue to repeat these steps until you have all of the desired icons for all of the frequently performed commands that you have are moved over to this list on the right-hand side. When you're finished, you would simply come down to the bottom of the dialog box and click OK. Just below the Quick Access toolbar, you'll see the ribbon, and the ribbon is made up of tabs such as Home, Insert, Page Design, Mailings, Review, and View. Then, within each tab, you'll notice that your command icons are grouped, and those groups are labeled, such as Clipboard, Font, Paragraph, Styles, Objects, Arrange, and Editing. As you move through the tabs on the ribbon, you'll notice that the available commands change. Within the Home tab, you'll find a lot of formatting options for your text. The ability to insert objects such as text boxes and pictures, tables, and shapes, and also the ability to manage these options within your publication using some of those commands you see in the Arrange group. The Editing group allows you to find certain text or formatting within the document, and the Replace option will allow you to find specific text or formatting and replace it with something else. The Insert tab provides you with commands for inserting objects within your publication. In addition to inserting objects, you also have the option to insert pages or catalog pages as well. The Page Design tab allows you to change properties of a page, such as its margins, its orientation, and its size. In addition to these options, this tab contains commands related to color schemes, font schemes, and also changing the page's background. The Mailings tab allows users to complete a mail merge with their publication, so this can be helpful for creating a publication that, for example, might contain a mailing address or a catalog containing product descriptions. So we'll definitely dive into this topic in more detail in a later chapter because mail merge can be a very powerful tool. The Review tab has commands available for things like spell check, researching dictionaries on the web, a thesaurus, and also text translation for other languages. And last but not least, if we click the View tab, you can also see this is where we can view master pages, which we'll talk about later, show or hide elements on the pages such as guides, rulers, the scratch area, or baselines, Again, all of which we'll discuss in more detail later. You have options for changing how you view your document with Zoom, as well as how to handle multiple publication windows that are open at the same time. Below the ribbon on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll also notice the Pages pane. This pane can be hidden by selecting the left arrow, or you can choose to display it again by selecting the right arrow. If you'd like to resize the pane, you can hover your mouse over the right edge until you see a double left and right arrow. Then you can left-click hold and drag your mouse to the left or right, and notice that it resizes the Pages panel. Within this pane, notice that you'll see a list of all the pages within the publication, and the pages will be displayed as thumbnails that you can easily click to navigate around. But in this case, as you can see, we only have one page, but you'll notice later that as we add more, they will be displayed in this left-hand pane as well. In the middle of the screen, notice that you can see the workspace where your blank page is displayed. The extra space around the blank page is also called the scratch area, which is where you can store objects, such as images, until you're ready to place them in their appropriate place within the publication. So, when the scratch area is turned on, these objects will be displayed in this blank area around the page, despite which page you're viewing within the publication. When you turn the scratch area off, this blank space will still be visible, however your objects will not be visible in this area any longer. On the right-hand side of the screen, and just below the publication area, you'll notice that there are scroll bars which allow you to move up and down or left and right within your publication. Finally, let's take a look at the status bar that's displayed at the bottom of the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice where it says Page 1 of 1. As you add more pages to your publication and you begin navigating through each one, this is a good reminder of where you're at within the publication. Notice that if I click on Page 1 of 1, the page pane that we discussed a few moments ago will disappear. If we click the Page 1 of 1 again, notice that the page pane will reappear. So as you can see, this is just another quick way to open and close that pane if needed. Notice that as your mouse moves around the document, the precise location of the mouse will be displayed in the status bar, as well as the object position area of the status bar. Since we have no objects in position yet, it's simply displaying the precise location of the mouse as we move it around. If we click on the small XY or object size icon in the status bar, it'll bring up the measurements box. This box is helpful in displaying the measurements and precise location of a selected object within the publication. Since again we don't have any objects displayed yet, notice that the box at this moment is empty. On the right-hand side of the status bar, you'll notice that there are two icons for viewing the document. The first one on the left is the single page view, which is the default, and the one on the right is the two-page spread view. To the right of these icons, you might notice what is called the zoom slider. The zoom slider allows you to move the zoom slider bar to the left or to the right in order to zoom in and out of your publication. The percentage of your zoom is displayed to the right. Finally, the last icon in this status bar that's displayed is the Show Whole Page icon. This allows you to automatically display the entire page within the screen. So it's important to keep in mind that if at any time you'd like to remove the options from the status bar, you'd want to right-click your mouse in the status bar and then select the options that you'd like to remove. In this case, everything's displayed, and we can see that a check mark is displayed to the left of each option. Now that we have a better understanding of the interface, let's go ahead and move on to learn how we can insert, delete, move, rename, and reorder our pages within our publication.